Hi guys, my name's Bethany. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. It's been a really long time since I've made a video, so we have a lot to talk about. Things have just been really busy in our lives. It was the end of the school year, and yeah, I don't know, I kind of had a slumpy April and kind of May, although it's really kind of ramping up as far as just I'm really enjoying what I've been reading lately, but not as much in April. So anyway, I was just really having a hard time finding the time and the motivation to make a video, but here I am today. Today I'm going to be talking about what I've read lately, what I'm currently reading, what I've DNF'd, what I'm planning to read to finish up May, and then picking my June TBR with you guys. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about a couple of books that I DNF'd the past couple of months. Both of these, as of right now, are kind of a soft DNF. I might pick them back up. Actually, one of them I'm definitely going to pick back up, so I'll just start with that one. So that is Sweep by Jonathan Auxier, and I was reading this aloud to my son, and he just kind of wasn't getting really into it. We didn't get very far, but far enough that I was pretty into it, but he was ready to move on. He wanted to read The One and Only Bob, so we started reading that a little bit, and then here lately he's been wanting just to read The Boxcar Children, the first book, which is a reread, like a reread for us, but he really enjoys that one. I really enjoy that one, and I think it's good for him to just reread books that he enjoys. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and finish it on my own first, and then we'll read it whenever he shows interest in it, which I think that he will, because it has some familiarity to him now. I don't know when, but I'm definitely gonna pick that up and finish it. The other one that I DNF'd was actually for my May Try an Author, and I picked this for my May TBR in that video, which is Emily Henry's Book Lovers, which everybody loves Emily Henry, and yeah, I had not read anything from her, and I'd heard good things about this, I think, and I thought, well, it's bookish, and so I'll start with this one, and I own it. So I don't know how far I got. I actually started listening to it on audio first, but I just was kind of in a weird mood. I had just finished a romantic book that I wasn't just super thrilled with, and then I picked up this one, and it just really wasn't great to me at the beginning. I don't know, like I said, I don't know how far I made it in it, but I wasn't crazy about the characters, and it like quickly got into like a romantic scene that I just wasn't feeling. I just was not. I think I had heard somebody say that Emily Henry was clean romance, which it might have still been clean, I guess. It didn't feel very clean to me, and I know everybody's like standard on that is different, and I've certainly read plenty of books with stuff like this in it, but I feel like here lately I've been reading a lot more like actual clean, like Christian romance, that I'm almost kind of becoming a little more sensitive to that, and so I don't know, I was just like, okay, this is silly. I'm not going to continue reading something if I don't enjoy it or if it's making me feel ick. But then I heard a couple of other people on BookTube talking about it more recently, people that I feel like my reading preferences and styles kind of align with a little bit, and they were saying, you know, it really wasn't that bad, or like that was like the only scene like that, I think. So I was like, okay, I might try it again. I don't know, maybe if I'm in a different mood that won't bother me, maybe if I'm reading it physically and not listening to it, so we'll see. I'm not in a big hurry, so I think I'm gonna hold on to it though, just in case. Okay, to start off the books that I've read the past 2 months, the first one is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read Malibu Rising by her. That's the only other one, and it wasn't great for me. I don't know, it was good. Like, I was kind of into it at the time, but now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was kind of like not that great. And it definitely had, you know, some stuff that I'm not that into as far as like language and smut and all of that. So I wasn't really thinking I would want to read Taylor Jenkins Reid again, but I had heard good things about like her older ones, and One True Loves is an older one of hers, and the like plotline, the story sounded so interesting to me. So it is about a girl who gets married, and then her husband, I think on their first anniversary, goes on a trip and disappears, goes missing. And I can't remember the details on that, but I think that it was like a plane crash or something. So anyway, he's after a while presumed dead, and so then she, a few years later, kind of moves on and finds a new boyfriend, and then her husband is found and shows back up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It definitely you know, pulled on my heartstrings. Like, that's just such a crazy situation to be in, and then to kind of be put in that situation to choose between these two men. I mean, your husband who you thought was dead. Anyway, so it was good. I gave it 3 stars, just because I wasn't crazy about like the language and some of the content. And then so in the beginning it had like a high school timeline for her, and I really didn't like that part. It just, I don't know, it was like, I don't know if there's a word for like bad nostalgia, but that's kind of what it was for like high school. Anyway, I didn't enjoy that part, and like, I was into it. I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I liked that about it. But then it was kind of just like, ugh, like, I don't know. I just didn't feel great after I read it. So that's why I gave that one 3 stars. The next one I read was Gentle Tyranny by Jess Corbin, and I don't remember how I found this one. This is like a dystopian story. It's wild, like women kind of like taking over society and making men gentles, and like then they're basically like slaves. It's crazy, like crazy. I gave it 4 stars. I don't know, it was like a great idea and a pretty good pace. It was, I don't know, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't like, wow, this is one of the best books I've read. So there is a second book. I don't even remember what it's called, but a brutal justice, I think. Anyway, I do plan on reading that next book, but I'm not in a super big hurry to, but I think it would be interesting. It was a pretty good read. Next one is The Rule of Three by Eric Walters. So this one is about a teenage boy, and one day the power goes out and everything that has a computer in it won't work, so like most vehicles. And it's mainly about that boy, his older neighbor, and and the boy's family, and then their community, like their little neighborhood, and how they come together and how they try to survive. So I was reading this at the same time I was listening to A Gentle Tyranny, and I don't think that was a great idea, because they're both like kind of dystopian, post-apocalyptic. I mean, they're kind of like in that same theme. They weren't similar really at all, but I don't know if that was the greatest plan, but I really enjoyed this one. I gave this one 4 stars too, but like now later on I'm kind of like, no, it was really good. There's several more in this series, so I am going to pick those up. It was a lot more action than I thought it was going to be. It reminded me of like The Walking Dead without zombies. So yeah, I really like this. I would recommend this for sure. So that's The Rule of Three by Eric Walters. Next one that I read is The House We Grew Up In by Lisa Jewell. This was my in-person book club pick for April. And I just really hated it. I listened to the whole thing, and I wanted to know what happened. It's like a family drama. I mean, like the most dysfunctional, crazy family drama there ever was. It was just way too much for me. Just way too much. It touches on like hoarding and I mean so many triggers, like so many. I can't even like just check into it if you want to read this, but I wouldn't read it. It was just so bad for me. Honestly, like most of the people in book club acted like they liked it. There was definitely a lot to talk about at book club because there was so much crazy stuff and just like trying to like analyze these characters and why they did all the crazy things they did. But for me, I mean, it just put me in a mood. I don't know, it was just not like a good book for me, like mentally. It was rough. Okay, the next one is The Mouse and the Motorcycle. So this is a reread from my childhood. We actually just listened to this on the way back from a lake trip that we took, and everybody enjoyed it, so that's great. I gave it 4 stars, so I mean, I don't know. Okay, the next one is a nonfiction, Honey for a Child's Heart. Oh, I'm sorry. The Mouse and the Motorcycle is by Beverly Cleary. So Honey for a Child's Heart by Gladys M. Hunt, and this is a nonfiction book about reading to your kids, and I gave it 4 stars. It was really great. I think the more that I use it, I'll probably like, I don't know if I'll reread it. So I listened to it. I don't actually own it, but I listened to it and then downloaded the book list that comes with it, which is great. I love having a good book list for reading aloud to my family and my kids. She's a Christian author, so there's definitely like a lot of that, like as far as in picking books, the quality of books, she talks a lot about just reading the Bible aloud to your children. And so anyway, it was a really good one, definitely a good resource. And yeah, I highly recommend reading aloud to your kids, and this book was helpful just to give good ideas, and I love a good book list, so that was great. Okay, the next one I read was Love and a Little White Lie by Tammy L. Gray, and I loved this book so much. This is kind of where the past couple of months where my reading kind of took a turn, and I was like, oh, okay, this is good. And so this is a Christian romance, and I've never read before this Tammy L. Gray, and sorry, I've got like, this hair is driving me nuts. I don't even know what is going on. This was just exactly what I needed, like a good, clean romance with faith in it, and it did not shy away from hard topics at all. There was some heavy stuff in this, but it just had that, I felt good at the end, and I just needed that in my reading. So that was great. This was a 5-star, and yeah, I loved it so much. Okay, the next one was also 5 stars, and I'm so glad I finally listened to this book. It is Fenley Donovan is Killing It by Elle Castellano, and so this book is like, I don't know what you call this genre, like a dramedy, maybe like a drama comedy thrillery kind of, but like not anything too crazy. So anyway, it is excellent. I just enjoyed it so much. Like it made me laugh. It was like just had me like captivated, wanting to know what was gonna happen. It is about this author who is going through a divorce or went through a divorce, and is just struggling. She's struggling to write books and make money and not be dependent on her ex-husband. And then she's meeting with her agent in a Panera and talking about her new book she's writing, and somebody overhears her and thinks that she is a contract killer and then tries to hire her as a hit woman. Anyway, it's so good, so funny, so entertaining. I just really enjoyed it. That one again was just, oh my goodness, I needed a book like this that was just not too serious, and even though it's talking about murder and stuff, like it's just lighthearted in a lighthearted way and funny, and I loved it. I've already started, so I'm currently listening to Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead, which is book 2, and again, just loving it. It's just like continuing. It's like the next episode. The other one that I'm currently reading is Trust of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I got this from my daughter for Mother's Day, and I am so excited about it. I'm not super far in, but I've never read Brandon Sanderson, and I feel like this might be kind of a weird place to start, but anytime I like try to look up books of his, it's so overwhelming. They're usually long, or there's several in the series, or I don't really like the covers because they're kind of dated. I don't know. But anyway, this one is new and not too long, and so I thought this would be a good one. I like the cover. This would be a good one to start and try Brandon Sanderson. Also, the inside art, oh my goodness, is so beautiful. I just love it so much. So anyway, I think it's great, and so I'm not very far into it, but so far I love the writing. I don't know if this is typical of him, but like the humor in it is so, I love it. It's like this kind of dry humor. The narrator, I absolutely love the way it's narrated, and like how the narrator is kind of like the side character that we don't really know anything about. I'm assuming we'll probably learn. I don't know. And then I'm planning to read in May, which I only have a few days left, but we'll see. All Manner of Things by Susie Finkbeiner. So this is for my May Read Your Bookshelf challenge. And I did, even though I didn't make a video, I did draw an author from my cup. And I drew Susie Finkbeiner. So this one is, so my Rule of 3, this was my Read Your Bookshelf challenge book for April. And then May's prompt was to find a longer book, which Rule of 3 is one of my longer books, like other than like super big ones. It was 405 pages, so it was kind of tough to find a book that was longer than that. But this one is 441, and I'm so excited to read it. And I drew her for my author, so that was perfect. So I'm definitely going to start this when I'm done with the Brandon Sanderson book. So that might be May still, or it might be the beginning of June. We'll see, but I'm really excited for it. So this is a historical Christian fiction about set around the Vietnam War, about a family. I don't know a whole lot more about that. I think I've gone over it in a haul video, but yeah, I'm excited to read this. All right, so now we're gonna pick my June TBR, and we're only picking 3 books because I just want a small, manageable TBR, and I want to be able to mood read. We're just going to be picking 3 for the Buzzwordathon challenge, the Read Your Bookshelf challenge, and then we're going to draw an author to try. So 3 books, and let's go ahead and get started. So the buzzword for June is other, and I didn't go through all my shelves, but I went through all of this one, and I didn't have a book with the word other in it, which is weird. So anyway, I went on my Goodreads and found 2, although one of them is not coming out until September, so I crossed that one off. And so the other one is The Other Side of Infamy by Jim Downing. So this is a nonfiction. He was in the Navy during Pearl Harbor, and yeah, it just looks really good. So I'm going to, I don't own it, so I'm going to look for it at the library, or I don't think it's on audio at my library, so I'm going to see if they have a physical copy, or see where I can get it. So anyway, that is for the buzzword for other. And then for Read Your Bookshelf, June is half as many letters as my May book. So this is going to be my May book. And I have not picked the June one yet, so I'm gonna have to go browse after I find out how many letters I have here. Okay, this has 17 letters, so I am going to go see what I have on my shelves with half as many. Okay guys, so I decided to round down to 16 and find a book with 8 letters. This is the book that I'm going to choose. This is Faithful by Kim Cash Tate, and this is a Christian contemporary. It's following, I think, 3 friends that are all kind of going through different things in their lives. One of them's married. One of them I don't think is married, but like wants to be married, and one of them's husband's having an affair. Okay, I'm remembering this all now. Okay, one of them's husband's having an affair, one of them is praying for her husband's salvation, and one of them does not have a husband but would like to have a husband. So anyway, it's following all 3 of them, and it sounds really good. I'm excited to give it a shot. So that will be for my Read Your Bookshelf challenge for the month of June. Okay, so all we have left now is to draw from my author jar. So I'm excited about this. I feel like I said I'm excited about every book, but I mean I am, so that's good. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Carolyn Brooks DuBois. Oh my goodness, I should probably know what I'm saying, but I think this is a middle grade author. I'm kind of not in the mood. I'm going to not draw again because I feel like that's cheating. So, and maybe I will be. You never know. So I don't have her books. I think that one of them is A Book in Verse. Oh my goodness, I can see the cover because it's so pretty. Oh, Ode to a Nobody. I think that's by her. And then there's another one, something about sleep. It has a picture of a girl in a bed. I'll try to put the pictures up here, and I'll just see which one of those I can get from my library and put that on my June TBR. Okay guys, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I did not have a video up for a long time. I want to be consistent at making videos, but I also have a life, have a full-time job, and a busy family, and so I like doing this. It's fun, but when it becomes not fun, I don't want to do it, or when I feel like it's taking too much time away from more important things, I don't want to do it. But anyway, I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great reading month. You can share with me what you plan to read in June down below. And thank you so much again for being here. I just really appreciate you. Bye.